Welcome, acolytes. Today, Billy Mitchell lost his lawsuit. The man himself, the legend Karl Jobst, actually does the thing with Billy Mitchell, and I find it so fascinating. So fascinating how this legacy just continues on with this guy. It's just fascinating how big of a effed up scumbag you have to be, and how many loops someone innocent has to jump just to actually get the rightful thing and get rid of you. And this is one of those things. And Karl Jobst does a really nice job doing it. So, let's start. Let's see. Let's hear what he has to say with or against him.
Legends. In April of 2018, Billy Mitchell, self-proclaimed video game player of the century, was
Ooh, yes, scammer of the century.
banned from Twin Galaxies after it was discovered that he had cheated multiple Donkey Kong World records. Twin Galaxies would post their decision in a public statement, saying that the tapes of Billy's world record show gameplay that could not come from an original, unmodified arcade cabinet.
And by the way, for those who don't know, the guy, this is a scammer, presumably a world record breaker, but he didn't actually, he has no proof for any world records he did, so yeah.
This meant that Billy was lying about how he achieved his scores. A year later, Billy sued Twin Galaxies for defamation, and for the past 5 years, this insane legal battle over video game high scores has dragged on. Well, on the 11th of January 2024, it all came to an end. Yep, it's over. While everyone on the internet was getting prepared with their popcorn to witness the circus of Billy Mitchell in court, the two parties were doing everything they could to avoid trial. The simple truth is that everyone knew Billy had zero chance of winning. It's a proven fact he cheated, and there are mountains and mountains of evidence confirming that. But trial is insanely expensive. And while it would be nice for Billy to be destroyed by a jury, and it'd make for some amazing content,
and it would be funny as fuck. It would be extremely funny.
no one involved wanted to go through it. Billy knew he was going to lose. Billy's lawyers knew he was going to lose, and they were desperate to settle and avoid the humiliation of defeat. So they worked out a deal with Twin Galaxies, and the parties settled. Today, we are going to look at what that settlement means, because I'm sure you're all asking, if they settled, does that mean Billy won? Did Twin Galaxies recant their statements? Did they admit they were wrong? Are Billy's scores being reinstated? Is Billy unbanned? Did Billy even really cheat? Yes, you fool. Of course he cheated. But as far as the other questions are concerned, in this video I will break it down. And there is a part of this settlement that is absolutely hilarious, because Billy Mitchell managed to find a university professor willing to put his entire career on the line to defend Billy. And
holy sh... Oh, really? There are still people who actually believe him? What the F is wrong with people? Incredible, to be completely honest. I don't understand it. Well, I guess every day a new sucker is born, and yeah.
His explanation as to why Billy's tapes look the way they do is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. I really hope you enjoy. Guys, a new year is upon us, and that means I'm asking the same question I ask every single year. Is 2024 finally the year that I get a six-pack? And by golly, yes it is, mark my words, Karl Jobst will finally achieve his dreams and get ripped. And to help me with this is today's video sponsor, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon cereal is high in protein. Definitely give Magic Spoon a try, and they are so confident they offer a 100% money-back guarantee if you are not happy. There are a ton of flavors to choose from, and you'll need to try them all to make sure you find the ones you most enjoy. So just click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen and use promo code LEGEND to get $5 off your order today. Billy Mitchell and Twin Galaxies officially settled on the 11th of January, but it wasn't until earlier today that Twin Galaxies released an official statement. Here is what it said. On April 12, 2018, Twin Galaxies removed all of Mr. Mitchell's scores and banned Mr. Mitchell from competing on Twin Galaxies' competitive leaderboards. This was centered upon a technical basis of what Twin Galaxies believed to be a demonstrated impossibility of original unmodified Donkey Kong hardware to produce images shown in the videotaped recordings of some of the disputed adjudicated performances.
Yes, and I repeat, remember how much shit they had to go through just to actually catch the scammer and do what they had to do to prove that he's not innocent, that he is guilty. And after they have proven it, it still wasn't over. They still had to go through trials and lies and time waste and a lot of things, and just waste a lot of precious time. And the thing is, we don't have a lot of time here on this earth, so we should just enjoy it as far as we can. And people like Billy Mitchell are disgusting in my eyes. Scammers through and through, and in my opinion, there shouldn't be any, not even the freaking slightest sign of mercy that you show them. But that's only my opinion.
The basis for this decision was an independent investigation by Twin Galaxies, supported by a series of detailed submissions, experiments, and analyses by Twin Galaxies and from the Twin Galaxies community, each with varying degrees of technical expertise and access to equipment. Recently, on behalf of Mr. Mitchell, Dr. Michael Zyda, an individual who holds a Bachelor of Arts in Computer and Information Science from University of California, San Diego, a Masters of Science in Computer and Information Science from the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and a Doctorate of Science from the University of Washington School of Engineering, and who has been qualified as an expert by California and federal courts, concluded that the gameplay on these subject tapes could in fact depict play on original unmodified Donkey Kong arcade hardware if the hardware involved was malfunctioning, likely due to degradation of components. So basically, Billy paid a so-called expert to say it's possible that Billy's tapes show gameplay that looks like emulation because his hardware malfunctioned.
What do you think the chance of this is? 1 in a million? Maybe? It cannot be that often because of the sheer high amount of actual proof we can record and show. Damn it.
I won't go over his entire statement here, but I will do an entire video on this guy soon, because his statement is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. For a quick recap, we know that Billy's records were done on emulation because of how the levels load. They look completely different between MAME and arcade. All of Billy's tapes show MAME loading screens for every level. The way the levels draw on each frame is very different, and Billy's tapes match MAME exactly. So we are talking about 9 hours of footage over 3 games, covering a span of 6 years. And they are all identical to MAME.
Yeah.
This is just a proven fact at this point. And because Billy lied in order to hide the fact these scores were done on MAME, means that he almost certainly used save states and other banned tools in order to cheat. If you want a really good breakdown, I recommend a video by Veritas, who explains all of the technical reasons for the differences.
Veritas. Huh. I'm gonna do the following. Veritas, and yeah, I'm gonna do that at some point. And you also look at this video and look at the video of Veritas if you're interested in things like that.
It's easily the best video on Billy Mitchell ever made. It's 4 hours long, and you absolutely should watch it. I'll put a link in the description. But in short, we know that Billy's tapes came from MAME and can prove it.
For F's sake, of course. No. Advertise video of blah, 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 blah. Good. Now we got it.
it. According to Billy's expert, this Michael Zyder, Billy's tapes look like MAME because maybe the hardware malfunctioned. Now, he doesn't provide any evidence for this, he doesn't provide any explanation or mechanism,
Of course
he just claims a malfunction can do this, and doesn't substantiate it whatsoever. His statement is extremely stupid. For example, he claims that maybe Billy's tapes look like MAME because when you copy a VHS tape, it can cause visual artifacts. Or maybe Billy didn't clean his VCR before he made his copies, so that's why they look like MAME. It's really that dumb. So Billy finds this idiot professor willing to say ridiculous things for money, and Twin Galaxies says, well, we think he cheated, but if you want to put your career on the line and say Billy didn't cheat, you can take all of the heat. Twin Galaxies continue in their statement. In fair consideration of the expert opinion provided by Dr. Zyder on behalf of Mr. Mitchell, and consistent with Twin Galaxies' dedication to the meticulous documentation and preservation of video game score history, Twin Galaxies shall heretofore reinstate all of Mr. Mitchell's scores as part of the official historical database on Twin Galaxies' website. A lot of people will read that and think that Twin Galaxies are reinstating Billy's scores, but that is not what's happening. What they have done is create an archive of the version of the Twin Galaxies the new owner Jace Hall bought in 2014, and they're adding that onto the website as something you can view for historical purposes. It's basically like the Wayback Machine for Twin Galaxies, and you could literally achieve the same effect by just using the Wayback Machine. It's a snapshot of what the database was like 10 years ago, including all of the known cheated scores, and including all of the fraudsters like Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell that have been exposed since then. Billy is getting nothing of value here. His scores are not going back onto the official leaderboards, and he is still banned. Literally all he has is some professor saying that maybe, just maybe, his arcade machine malfunctioned 3 times over 6 years in a way that perfectly matches MAME.
So a lot of buts, whens, maybes, and probablys. A little too much maybes, probablys, whats, and etc., etc., etc.
Twin Galaxies hasn't changed their opinion, which is why he is still banned. Twin Galaxies did not say their original statements weren't true, which is why his scores aren't being put back up to the current ranks. Twin Galaxies didn't want to go to trial, and they said, hey, if your expert wants to ruin his reputation by saying moronic things like maybe Billy didn't clean his VCR properly, so be it. Twin Galaxies acknowledges Billy's expert, but nowhere in their statement do they endorse or agree with his statements. This could not be the result Billy wanted, and I assume his lawyers basically forced him to settle. There is no way they didn't know Billy was a cheater by this point, and they really hated all of the negative press people like me were giving them. And this is one of the reasons I went so hard on Billy's lawyers. Obviously, Billy is insane, but his lawyers aren't. Putting innocent people through a lawsuit is categorically evil. It makes you a monster. It ruins people's lives. His lawyers were absolutely complicit in this, and that should never be forgotten. Initially, they would have been naive and didn't know the truth, but by the end, it was obvious they knew Billy was a con man. Applying pressure to his lawyers was one way to try and make them want to settle as quickly as possible. There is one thing that Billy wins though, and that's the fact that Twin Galaxies is dropping their countersuit against him for fraud. So he definitely dodges a bullet there. Personally, I'm not sure how successful that would have been, and I feel as though it was just Twin Galaxies trying to throw a wrench into the works and dissuade Billy from continuing his own action. Perhaps this is why Billy accepted such a pathetic settlement, because he was truly afraid of the upcoming trial. You know what's really funny though? And this might give you an indication of how Twin Galaxies really feels. They recently launched a merch store, and when you go there, the first things you see are shirts and mugs showing the difference between arcade and MAME. These are hilarious. I assure you I am not sponsored by Twin Galaxies, but I really think you should go and show some support by buying a mug or a shirt.
Nice.
Twin Galaxies have been quietly fighting Billy Mitchell for 5 years. They never complained, they never asked anyone for anything, they went through hell standing up to a gigantic piece of shit on behalf of the gaming community.
And kudos to them. Honestly, pure effing respect. And I'm gonna repeat that again. A lot of time went into it just to actually defuse and debunk a scammer.
And I think they deserve some love. So please go and have a look at their store, the link will be in the description. Ultimately, I know everyone is going to be disappointed with this because we all really wanted to see Billy get destroyed in court. But it would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for Twin Galaxies. Money I don't think they even have.
I'm gonna be honest, I would prefer that they just drag him through court and treat him like the little dirtbag he is. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And it's not even a guarantee that they win, because the freaking guy, the judge, could be like, I don't see it like this. And you lost. Just because of some, I think, scumbag.
And the outcome would have been exactly the same, with Billy remaining banned and his scores not going back up to the ranks. However, Billy is not out of the woods yet, because he still has this little thorn in his side, yours truly. Billy cannot escape his lawsuit
This is beautiful.
against me. And when I say that, I mean he literally cannot escape. If Billy dropped his lawsuit against me, he would immediately lose, and would instantly owe me hundreds of thousands of dollars. So our lawsuit is going to trial, and hopefully that's going to be relatively soon. So if you are hoping for at least some fireworks, there will definitely be some juicy courtroom drama still to come for sure.
Damn. And I really would freaking love it. I would really love it for, just to really, just give it to him. Just really, Oh, it would be so funny. It would be really, really so funny. I would really adore him. And by the way, Karl Jobst just did a beautiful work about it. So,
Let me know what you think of this settlement in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
Yeah. Damn. And again, updates, and nice things. Nice. But as it is, acolytes, good night.